He flicked his cigarette, and the butt floated along the water toward the drain. Curious, he followed it, until the cigarette disappeared under a manhole. He looked up, and realized it was right next to the biggest bank in town. That's when an idea hit him. He followed the flow of the water, and eventually found the outlet under a bridge. Driven by curiosity, he crawled into the sewer in the middle of the rain. It was wide enough to walk in, and hidden from sight. The tunnel led straight to the bank. Jim rushed to share his idea with his friend.
Si fueras otro tipo te diría que estás mal de la cabeza y que sos un pelotudo.
Through his friend, he got in touch with a wealthy man named Kevin. Kevin had made his fortune through theft. Even though he was older, he was still incredibly agile. But Kevin liked his life now, so he turned Jim down. To change his mind, Jim drove his beat-up car and took Kevin straight to the bank. He dropped a measuring tape down from the manhole. Then they both climbed into the sewer and started walking. Soon they saw the tape hanging from above.
Estamos a 18 metros de ser millonarios.
But Kevin shook his head. He was worried about what would happen if it rained again.
Hay que estar atentos al pronóstico y entrar solamente cuando el tiempo es bueno.
The opportunity was just too tempting. Kevin finally agreed to join the plan. Now they had people and money, but they didn't know the layout of the bank. If they dug blindly, they might set off the alarm. Jim then proudly showed off his gear. Turns out he had done his research. The bank used heat sensors for its alarm system. As long as they wore these sleeping bags, the sensors couldn't detect their body heat.
¿Y cómo pensás abrir la bóveda del banco? Dame tiempo con eso.
But Kevin reminded him what they really needed was a floor plan of the bank. Jim brought a hidden camera and snapped some secret photos. He even walked into the bank and pretended to be a tourist, but the security guard caught him acting suspicious, so he brought him downstairs to question him. Yet the camera had no photos, because Jim had already removed the memory card. Getting caught actually helped. He got a full look at the underground layout. Jim drew the floor plan and marked the key spots. He mapped out the vault, the team's path, and their exit. Now their only problem was the exact distance between the sewer and the vault. If they miscalculated, they might dig right into the guard room.
No podés tirar un metro en la calle. Está la garita de seguridad y los guardias del banco.
But Jim already had a plan. He tied a string to a bicycle wheel and pushed it from the sewer toward the bank. He counted the spins along the way. Using simple math, Jim calculated the total distance. He used two sides of a triangle to find the angle and length. Now they just had to dig along the line. But to steal the money, they had to get inside the vault. To study the lock, Kevin visited a different bank. He opened a personal account and checked out the mechanism as he unlocked it. Next, they had to figure out the escape. They'd need a car big enough to carry all the cash. When Kevin heard they'd have to buy a vehicle, he immediately got annoyed. So he stole a random van off the street. It was bright red, but big enough for the job. With all the prep done, they started digging. But then Kevin realized something serious.
Poniendo el cuerpo, tiempo y en mi caso, quita. Te banque hasta que Fernando no te banco más.
He got so mad he stormed off. The team went home separately. Jim looked frustrated, but while stargazing with his girlfriend, he suddenly had a breakthrough idea.